Good afternoon. Man cave? But we're a bit dirty. Blizzard and myself. We've been out green laning this morning. And we're less than clean, but oh well. It was a nice morning, so best make the use of it. Right, okay, enough of that. Back to the job in hand, and it's episode 2 of Spain, Portugal. This time we get into Portugal. Held down voluntarily, I suppose, by Hurricane Kirk for a couple of days. On reflection, I know I could have nailed it and just ridden into the storm and ridden through to Portugal, because I was heading for a hotel night anyway, so I could have got dried off. But I knew what was in front of us. I knew the scenery we'd be riding through, and I really didn't want to miss that. It's beautiful mountain scenery through Rianho, out the other side and down the valley beyond Rianho, and over towards Portugal. And the ride into Portugal was really nice as well. So I didn't want to spoil that by just hammering through in the rain and just not filming. Wasted opportunity. So okay, I lost a couple of days, but on reflection, I don't think I'd done it any other way. Either way, that's what this one is. It's the ride from... It's a transit day again, I suppose, but it's a really nice transit day. From Boca through to past Rianho, through the valley beyond Rianho, across into Portugal, on the River Douro, over to Miranda do Douro initially, before heading a little bit further down country for the overnight. The overnight, yeah, Spooky Towers, Spookyville, Portugal. It's just that the house I stayed in, a bit unusual. I was the only one there. Literally the only one there. The landlady wasn't there. She was a remote landlady. The door to the place was unlockable. My bedroom was locked, obviously, but really, really strange, really strange. I mean, the old lady over the road, in the broken conversation that we managed, she was telling me, it's closed. It's closed for the season. Is no more. But obviously, some idiot was prepared to pay for a night's stay there, so yeah, why not make a few euros out of him? It's not something I want to do again. I'm not affected by spooks or frightened, but it was a really, really strange situation, and it's not something I'd like to do again. But either way, that was just the one night before heading across to ride the Douro Valley. But that's the Douro Valley is for the next episode. So see what you think. Have a look through it. It's I'm glad that people are finding this interesting, because there's a lot of it, to be honest, and there's going to be quite a few episodes, but it is what it is, you know. So yeah, have a look through it, see what you think. Give us a thumbs up if you can, if you feel like it, and if you've not subscribed, by all means subscribe, and send me a comment before I go. Since the day after I recorded the intro for the number 1 episode, shall we say, it's when all hell broke loose in Valencia, and I have to say that since I've read about that, since I've seen it on the television, on the TV, and heard about it from others, my heart goes out to those in Valencia. It really does. Gary from Economical Rides, I teamed up with him for a couple of days down in Almeria. Really enjoyed the 2 days with Gary, and fantastic weather. But he lives up in the mountains, inland in Almeria, and he was affected, but he just, I think basically he sat in his bed. He sat in his bed on the morning it happened and just watched the water level rising in his house. as it turns out, is not that badly affected. Also, some properties in the village were badly damaged by the floods, but he's okay. It's those further north at Valencia that really suffered, and like I say, my heart goes out to them. And I think about them all the time, that what happened out there in the country that I get so much enjoyment from, but I suppose, as people say, it is what it is, however, anyway, just see what you think of this one anyway, and I'll see you in the next one. Okay, cheers. Well, good morning everybody. We've weathered the storm here at Boca de Huegno, and it's time to, as they say around here, these neck of the woods, vamos! We're going to make our way across to Portugal, initially to Miranda do Douro, but before we go, I want to have a proper look. Casa Crescente, 3 nights has been my home. Basic, admittedly, shared bathroom, but at 17 quid a night, and it's comfortable. Staff are great. In fact, Bruno, the barman, good English. He's subscribed to my channel. So I mean, look at the view. Heading off down towards Riaño at the minute. I mean, the only weather forecast app I've got on my phone that I take any notice of is BBC Weather, and it shows good skies, good sunshine, but on the wind section it says hurricane force winds. Well, I've spoken to Bruno behind the bar and he knows nothing about that. He said just look out the window. So let's wait and see, shall we? I've got about, well, according to the sat nav, it's about three and a half hours. So I've got, what? I've got 8 hours. So I've told the hotel tonight is another basic place, a bit more expensive, but basic. It's only got it only has shared bathroom. Not ever so warm at the minute. Blizzard's temperature gauge is showing 9 degrees, which realistically is about 6, and it feels it, to be honest. So I've got my heated grips on. The cyclists here, they were spending the night, and what I've forgotten was various places along this road, the probably one of the most famous long distance walks, cycle rides, trails if you like, in the world comes along this way. It's the El Camino de Santiago de Compostela. It's a great pilgrimage to Santiago de Compostela. Not such a massive proportion of actual Christians take
take this pilgrimage these days. A lot of people do it because it's there, because it's a target to aim for, because they're long distance walkers, and it's a big one to tick off, obviously. I don't know how long it is. I'll try and look it up, but yes, the Camino de Santiago de Compostela. I was planning to do it with in my early days with shearings. One of the other drivers was an enthusiastic cyclist, which I was back in those days, back in the early noughties, but we had this vague plan that we were going to do it, the two of us were going to do it on our push bikes, but well, it never happened. So what are we looking at? Sally sat was telling me I'm due to arrive at well, it's just south of Miranda de Douro at about 1:15. Well, I think I'm going to have to get off and stretch my legs in between, so it's going to be a bit later than that. This is Embalse, water to the left of us. This is Embalse de Riaño. It's not natural. It's a reservoir artificially enlarged. And daft as it may seem, it makes me think of Ladybower in Derbyshire. Basically because it's got a viaduct that carries a road across the middle of it. That's about the only similarity. Good to be back on the bike again. 2 full days off. Yeah. Now the main road bypasses the actual, well, it's not a town as such, it's a village really, as Riaño. It's a lovely little place. In fact, this is where I was looking for accommodation to begin with. But when I saw that one back there for €20 a night, yeah, that'll do. It's not unattractive, is it? 1 or 2 modern buildings with a nice old church across there. What beautiful rock scenery. That's what you get through being in the limestone mountains. And this is the viaduct I was talking about. Like I say, it's just about the only similarity there is with Ladybower. The fact that there's this viaduct here. From here onwards it's all new to me. I've not been beyond Riaño this way before, so it's all new ground, which is always good. I'm not going to be able to film anywhere near all the way across, so I'll do it in sections. When I looked down the valley this morning earlier when I was getting the bike ready to go, it was nothing like this. It was Very damp. And dreary looking. Then when I came down for breakfast it changed completely, so yeah. I don't know about these hurricane winds, hurricane force winds. I don't know. Might be a case of batten down the hatches after all. There's a pilgrim. Oh, she was in the hotel as well, yeah. I think she walked down to Riaño yesterday. She certainly left yesterday morning. So yeah, we're basically heading south towards Lyon, but hopefully we miss the city. I'm sure that I do miss out on some really nice architecture by avoiding the cities, but I just don't do cities, to be honest. I promised myself that there are one or two cities across here that I will have a look at. The one that I really do regret from last year was Granada. On reflection, I would love to have gone to have a look at the Alhambra. In fact, it wasn't long after I got back last year that I think it was a repeat, but a nice Mr. Portillo visited the Alhambra. On one of his most entertaining programmes. And not only because of the colour of his clothing, to be truthful. Because he is part Spanish, is the fella, and he has a lot of information to impart. As it's looking like we're beginning to lose the this group of mountains at the moment, so I'll switch off for now, and I'll switch back on in a bit. This is a transit day, realistically. Just transferring from Spain into Portugal. But if the stuff that it's worth recording, then I will record it, obviously. So yeah, I'll see you later. Well, we're back. As I said a while ago, I was going to switch off because it was getting a bit. It came out of the mountains really, just this side of Riaño, and it actually got very, very misty and cold as well. And then even when it cleared up, it was still the flatlands, if you like, a little bit, I won't say boring, but featureless. But we're coming towards the Portuguese border now, just down below, and it suddenly got interesting again. We got corners, we got hilly bits, we got rocks, we got trees, we got we've had a couple of olive groves. It's we're coming down to the, I'm fairly sure it's the same river, but in Spain it's the Duero, and in Portugal it's a Douro. I mean, my plans for tomorrow is to ride down the Douro Valley with possibly a couple of little detours, I don't know. There we go, Portugal, 1 kilometre or 1 kilometre. It looks a bit hydroelectric-y down here. Yeah, definitely. Now it's hardly a big main road border crossing, but I have to be prepared to show my passport, I suppose. I've been to Portugal before, but only as a package holiday way back, and it wasn't very good down the bottom there. And we've got some roadworks. Proceed with caution. Oh, I think it's work on the dam they're doing. Oh, he's waving me through, that's great. Fine fella. Thank you. And here's the border. Portugal. Nobody checked me through. The town up above us is Miranda do Douro. First time we come across in Portugal, and it's only just inside Portugal is Miranda. It does feel good to get here, it really does. Might be a reservoir, but it's quite spectacular. Interesting. My sort of roads already. That's what we like to see. Just a tiny bit concerned that my memory card might be a bit full. From what I can see, there's an interesting bit of architecture in Miranda, so I'm going to possibly have a little try and have a look at the very centre of Miranda. I'm going to have a look up there, I think. This looks interesting. Remains of a castle. Now, is this? There's no prohibition, I don't think. Exetocargus and Discargus. I'm not taking any chances. It doesn't say vehiculars. Perhaps it's loading and unloading. Oh, except for unloaded. Right, okay. I'm not going down there then. I think we'll have to have a photograph here. Absolutely. Right, photograph taken. Now we can hopefully escape. Thought this was one way, to be honest. Either way. I was originally looking for a hotel in Miranda, but no wrong with it. It just doesn't come over as my scene, really. Bit big. More a village man, not a hermit. Now, according to BBC weather, tomorrow is not perfect. I'm committed to having a go at it anyway tomorrow, so we'll just have to see what comes. It's all a bit modern arty, isn't it, this? So that's Miranda done and dusted. The temperature display back in Miranda was 18 degrees, and I wouldn't disagree with that. It feels a whole lot warmer than it was this morning. Well, it is, to be honest. It was flipping cold this morning. Well, this is nice and rural. Far more in keeping with my needs. Subtle differences in the signage, the roadside signs, and between Portugal and Spain. Very subtle differences. That's nice. Nice villages. Got a bit of an age to them. Sally Satnav says a mile to go, and I can see red roofs in front of me, so I'm thinking this is probably the right village. It looks more in keeping from what I was planning. I might have to switch off whilst I actually find the place I'm supposed to be stopping at. But bear with me. Villa di Bracchiosa. That's it. That's the place. Villa di Bracchiosa. That looks a nice little place. Fruit trees all over the place. Bit of scrumping later, perhaps? No. An Englishman abroad, eh? Oh, I like this, yeah. Hey, this is nice. Yes, I'll enjoy spending the night here, I think. This is lovely. This really is nice. Well, that's the cafe that's closed. Well, it's going to take me a while to find the hotel, but what I'll do is I'll switch off and take my time looking for it. There's no rush. I'm not due to book in until 4 o'clock, and it's nowhere near 4 o'clock. Well, that was kind of weird. Nobody at the hotel at all when I arrived. Messaged the owner, said can't finish work until 4 o'clock. Well, having set my watch to European time, I thought, well, that's not far away, so I waited till 4 o'clock. Then I just happened to glance at my phone, and my phone said 3 o'clock. So I'm thinking, this phone's hopeless. It just doesn't do anything right. It doesn't adjust to time changes or anything. And I started to think, hang on a minute, it did do. So I look at it. Would you believe? And there are people out there who will know. I know that, but Portugal is on the same time zone as Great Britain, as the UK. When did that ever make any sense? So anyway, I had another hour waiting for it to come out and show me into the hotel, show me my room. Couldn't really speak any English, so I used Google Translate, and I said, is there anybody else here tonight? She said, no, I don't live here, I live in the village. No, I mean guests. No, just you. I've got the entire flipping place to myself. That's going to be weird, this is. Really weird. It's a tiny little village though, and although there is a cafe, it is literally a cafe that sells teas, coffees, drinks, that sort of thing. I suppose it's a little bar. That should be open when I get back, because what I'm doing is I'm nipping into the next village, which is Sendim. I could go back into to Miranda, I suppose, but I've been through Miranda. I don't need to go back to Miranda unless I have to. I might as well go somewhere different. By the look of it, Sendim is another small village, but it does at least have a shop. In other news, I've secured a booking for myself in for tomorrow night in Guarda, which is just on the edge of Serra da Estrela National Park, which is where I wanted to explore anyway on Saturday, if not Sunday as well. That gives me a good few days to get across to Almeria. Yeah, the downside of this hotel, on the face of it, is that it's a shared bathroom. Yeah, shared with who exactly? It could be a bit spooky, you know, if you're that way inclined. Well, this place is good. This is Sendim, I think. Yep. got a bit more to it. Oh, there's a cafe there. I'll go have a cup of coffee. That's it. This is sending. So I'm switching off. I'll see what I can find. I'll see you in a bit. Well, here we are. Done my shopping. Had a cup of coffee. And you tell me if this isn't weird. This is the, well, hotel. But the host lives away. So she's not here at all. In fact, the only person who is here is me. There are no other guests. So I have the run of the place. I have the use of the kitchen. So providing I can work out how to use the oven, I can cook my pizza. Dr. Oetker's Hawaiian pizza. Any port in a storm. I've got some coffee sachets in my pan here. Which is just as well because there's no tea. Didn't expect there to be. Ooh. I don't know. I'll take you up to my room, but this is going to be a bit weird tonight. Nobody else. Nobody else in the building. It did happen to me once at the Gaelic Hotel up in Scotland, but that was a lot worse because of the ghost stories that existed around the Gaelic Hotel because of its previous use. Nice little single bed. Biggest problem was it's a shared bathroom. Shared with who? Different. Well, that's it for today. Give us a thumbs up. It's just an introductory again. Just a transit day across from Spain into Portugal. Ready for a couple of days here tomorrow and Saturday before heading west, heading east again towards Almeria. Yeah, give us a thumbs up, subscribe, all the rest of it, and thanks for watching. Cheers.